Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Pacey and this is ZDR Makeup. So today I'm super excited about this new series that I'm going to be filming. It is, don't get me wrong, it's a sad series, it's a more morbid series, a horrific series, but I just find them super interesting to watch. I literally watch these all the time. The first person who I ever watched is Bella Fiore and I've been obsessed ever since. And then I've watched another girl, she's a British YouTuber but I can't think of her name. I'll have her link down below. And I thought, you know what, I'm really interested in them. I'd love to research them, I'd love to find out, you know, everything about these cases. I just find them super fascinating. So I decided to make my own series myself. I'm just going to be doing like unsolved crime cases and telling you about them. I'm thinking of maybe doing solved crime cases as well. Also feel free to tell me some interesting cases down below that you'd like to know more about or that I should research, and I will definitely do a video on that. If I keep looking down, it's because I have my little notebook here with some notes in. Feel free to let me know any comments down below if there's like information I missed out and things. I'm new to this, okay? Today I'm going to be talking about the Icebox Murders. This is the name that it's been given by like press and media and things, which was a brutal crime that consisted of the murders of an elderly couple, Edwina and Fred Rodgers. So Edwina and Fred Rodgers, Fred being 81 and Edwina being 72, lived in their home in Houston, which was in a neighbourhood called Montrose, I believe. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but yeah, they were just a happy couple. They were living in their home, their family home, and they were living with their son, Charles Rodgers. Charles was 43 at the time, and he is the prime suspect in the case, which we will get to, but yeah. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on Charles and then I will get to the crime, which is just horrible. So Charles was quite an intelligent person. He dropped out of Texas A&M University and then enrolled in the University of Houston, where he proceeded to get a Bachelor of Science degree in nuclear physics, which just tells you straight away that he was clearly quite an intellectual person. He also spoke 7 different languages. And he had a working streak in the oil company and mining company and just like that kind of thing, and he was really clever about it, and he made them a lot of money, he found them a lot of oils. He was just a really clever guy. He was also a pilot during World War II and even served in the Office of Naval Intelligence. So by the time he'd been through all of these jobs, eventually by 1965 he ended up unemployed and had to go and live with his parents. Their kind of family life growing up was not the best. It's recorded that his father, Fred, was quite abusive towards him, and he lived in quite an abusive environment. It was said that even as he was growing up into his adulthood, his father was still abusing him, and apparently people say that he was even stealing like large sums of money off his son and everything. So he just didn't really have a good relationship with his parents. It is said that he communicated with his parents by slipping notes under the doorway. So they were on like that bad terms that they didn't even talk face to face, which I just think is so like, that's just horrible. Like, I could not imagine not talking, like living with somebody but hating them that much that you don't talk to them. Like, they talk through notes, like that is just baffling to me. So neighbours said that they never saw him, they didn't know he existed. He would leave at early morning before dusk and return back in late evening, like when it was already dark. So nobody knew he was even there. So Fred clearly seemed to be the bully of the family, if you like, and he worked at a bookies. You know, he worked in a gambling shop, and apparently he was quite an accredited con man. He did a lot of illegal things such as fraud and things, and he was quite like dodgy when gambling. And yeah, clearly things with his family were not great. I couldn't find tons of information on my family, as you know, it's back in the 1960s, there's not a whole lot of information on it, but that is what I could find. So basically, to sum things up, they were not on great terms, they weren't really, you know, they weren't that close-knit family. Then things got bad. So it is now June 23rd, 1965, and Edwina's nephew actually phoned the police or the patrolman and said he hadn't had any phone calls from Edwina in the past couple of days, and he'd been calling her and she'd not been replying. So he phoned the police to express his concern, and they said, you know, we'll do patrol of the area and we'll just do a routine checkup on them. So they sent 2 patrolmen out to patrol this neighbourhood, and they went into the family home. It was a bit quiet and they couldn't see anybody in the house. The house was like empty, there was nobody there. That was a bit weird, but apart from that, you know, there was no warning signs that anything was going on. As they were about to leave, one of the police officers actually, I don't know why he opened this, I don't know if the door was ajar, I don't know why he opened the refrigerator, but one of the police officers or patrolmen opens the refrigerator. I have got a quote from the other patrolman on that night and what he says he saw. So he said, he opened up a refrigerator and saw nothing but meat stacked in it. My partner standing next to me made the comment that it looked like somebody had butchered a hog. We didn't know it was a body until we get ready to close the refrigerator and we both see a head in the bottom of the vegetable bin. And that was Charles Bullock, and he was the patrolman that day. Basically, in the fridge were chunks of meat, and this turned out to be the dismembered torsos and limbs of Edwina and Fred. So this was filled in the fridge, and then, you know, in that little vegetable drawer at the bottom, both of their heads were in there. Obviously they investigated this, discovered that it was Edwina and Fred, and the cause of death was Fred had his head crushed. He'd been brutally beaten on his head multiple times by a claw hammer, and Edwina had been brutally shot and beaten. So they said that she was beaten and then she was shot in an execution position, which I looked into, and it's like when she sat there and they put the gun to the side of her head and then execute her like that. So yeah, that was already horrific. And then obviously he proceeded to dismember the bodies. And then it gets worse. A couple of days later, they found their insides, their entrails, in the sewage system. And when they looked into it, he had removed all of their insides, all of their organs, and he had just flushed them down the toilet. Which is just... ugh. Like, I can't imagine that. That is just horrific. They figured out that their predicted time of death was actually 3 days prior, on June 20th, which was actually Father's Day that year. So yeah, that was what happened to them. Now on to suspects and things and Charles. So they obviously searched the house and there was not really any blood. So considering this whole ordeal had happened, there was no blood. So they obviously realised, you know, the murderer has cleaned up his mess, and they found some little bits of blood, and this ended up being a trail to Charles's bedroom, which in Charles's bedroom they found a blood-stained keyhole saw, which I'm assuming is what he used to dismember them. And now they started to obviously suspect Charles. You know, he has motive because they were not on good terms at all, and obviously his blood is all over a saw and things. They are suspecting Charles, but they at least know that he was at the crime scene, so even if he didn't do it, they wanted to question him and see if he knew anything. So they put out a warrant to find Charles as a material witness, but Charles could not be found. Charles was gone, and Charles was eventually stated to have gone missing. Well, some people predict that he ran away to Mexico, and he has quite high up friends over there that he found when working at all these oil places and things, and they think that they're helping hide him. He is now the only suspect and obviously the prime suspect in the case. So as the police looked into it more and more, they never ever found him. He's still missing to this day. Nobody knows where he went. Nobody's found him dead. Nobody's found him alive. Just no recollection of him. He was declared dead in absentia in July 1975, and this was so his estate could be prohibited. Police now say that they believe he had been planning it for absolutely years. His parents were abusive and they were both con artists, and he hated them, basically. He really disliked his parents and he had motive and just wanted to get his revenge on them. He also has been linked to the assassination of JF Kennedy. He joined the Civil Air Patrol, and this is where he met David Ferrie, and David Ferrie has also been linked to the JF Kennedy assassination. People say that he was a conspirator in the assassination, and Charles Rodgers is also linked to this. So basically this family, it's not good, you know, they've been involved in a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's really all I could find on the case. There's not much to it. He's the only suspect. They have actually recently reopened the case. I don't know if they're trying to look for more evidence of that it was definitely Charles, or if maybe they have reason to believe that it might be somebody else. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure it's Charles, because I mean it's all circumstantial, as there's no actually hard evidence. I mean, yeah, they found the weapon that he obviously used to dismember them with his blood on, but I don't think there was any fingerprints on it or anything. I couldn't find that anywhere. And obviously he had motive, like a very strong motive, and obviously being linked to the assassination of JFK and everything, I just think it's very likely that it was Charles. But I know there's not a whole lot of information on this case, and I do apologise, but I just really wanted to talk about this case because I thought it was such a crazy, horrific crime that I thought it was a good first video. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought happened to Charles, or you know, if you think it was somebody else or what. But there's literally no information on any other suspect. Police never had another suspect. So yeah, Charles is the only person that can be linked to it. But it's still classed as an unsolved crime. They've still never actually officially said that it was Charles, and I don't think they ever will, which is a shame, because it means, I don't know, like, there's just never going to be full closure on the case. So that is the murders of Edwina and Fred Rodgers, and I hope you guys like this style of video and, you know, find it interesting like I do. I would definitely love to do more soon, and like I said, if you have any suggestions, let me know down below. This is quite a short one. Usually they're quite a while. Usually they have a lot more information, but as I said, it was back in the 60s, there was only one suspect. It's pretty like straightforward. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to see more of these videos, and also just to see more of my videos, because I'm actually going to be filming a beauty bay haul right now, like right after this video ends. So yeah, check that out, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.